This is our 2018 Merlot.
Love is love.
And Merlot is a grape that, it kind of got a bad rap. After the movie Sideways, everybody thought, okay, Merlot is not hip anymore, we shouldn't drink Merlot, and they couldn't be more wrong. Merlot became popular for many good reasons, the biggest one being that it's really delicious. It's a classic varietal found in the Bordeaux region of France, and now you can find it planted all over the world. And there's some real classic markers that you always find in Merlot. In fact, often Merlot is used in blends to sort of round it out and to soften it. I always say that in a classic Bordeaux style blend, Cabernet Sauvignon gives the grapes its shoulders, whereas Merlot is what gives it its hips. Really round, sexy, beautiful flavors. To me, it's a very feminine of the bigger, darker red wines. And this is certainly no exception. Just smelling it right away, I get incredible bounty of aromas. So the wine itself, and this is 2018, so a little bit of age to it, which is perfect. It's really showing its best right now. The color is this really deep garnet tone, and it sort of fades out to, kind of a warmer garnet color, a little bit of that, slight hint of that sort of brick color as well, which is what you expect to find off of wines that have aged a bit. Really intense, concentrated color. I mean, it's so saturated, even the tears are stained a little bit. On the nose, really classic Merlot aromas. Lots of like stewed plum, lots of cherry, red and black cherry both. And then there's also this beautiful kind of leafy herbal tone, which I always find pretty classically in Merlot. It reminds me a little bit of tobacco leaves or dried herbs. It's just beautiful. It's almost like this forest floor aroma. Then there's also a lot of cocoa that I'm getting on the nose. This kind of dark chocolate coffee aroma. You can really smell the earthy tones as well. There's this kind of rocky, gravelly minerality that really is kind of in the background there, behind all of that really rich fruit. And the wood aromas are there as well. Lots of vanilla notes coming up, kind of sneaking behind again all of that intense, exuberant fruit. Delicious. Classically Merlot, really big, mouth-filling. Plump, the texture is just gorgeous. It's really opulent, really velvety, very almost creamy. And there's a little bit of Petite Syrah in this blend as well. And Petite Syrah is interesting. Petite Syrah is a grape. It's called Petite, not because it's light flavored, but because the grapes are small. And what that does is give you a much higher concentration of color. A bigger ratio of skin to juice will do that. And what that's doing to this wine is adding lots of pepper. So I'm really getting it more on the palate, this really beautiful peppery spice of flavor that's coming up behind all that big juicy fruit. The tannins are really soft, really supple, really elegant. This is just a super velvety wine, very luxurious on the palate. It also has some nice bright acidity to it, keeping it refreshing and bright, and just keeps making you want to come back for more. Really long finish. This is a gorgeous wine. With this wine, because there's some really beautiful herbal flavors, that kind of tobacco leaf, that dried savory character, and then also all this beautiful peppery flavor that's coming through from that Petite Syrah in the blend, I recommend having this with something like a grilled steak. This will act almost as like a sauce or a seasoning. You put food and wine in your mouth together, they change one another, and this is the wine that is calling for a steak right now. I also really love wines like this with hard cheeses. Something like an aged Gouda, where you get that little bit of a crystalline texture and a real meaty, dense flavor. That also works really well with a wine like this. Cheers. Love is love.